So I'm joined now by Bob Allwood, who's the Chief Executive for the Society for Underwater Technology. If I can begin by asking you, obviously everybody knows the difficult cycle in which the industry finds itself at the moment. How do you feel that the industry is meeting the challenges that it faces?
Well, I feel as though it's got a little bit of a way to go yet. This is not the first downturn in the industry we've had over the last 30 years. And I do feel that the industry hasn't really learnt the lessons of the past. However, there are signs that a lot of work is being done and new technologies are being developed to make life safer and more efficient for the industry. And also technology is being developed to meet the challenge of deeper water.
You know, we talk about the challenges currently facing the industry, and we often talk about them in a financial sense, but there's still a skills gap, isn't there? There's still the need to bring more talent into the industry.
Yes, there is indeed, and that's a bit of a worry because we do a lot of work, certainly at the Society for Underwater Technology, in attracting young people into the industry, and then all of a sudden the financial climate changes and these people find it very difficult to get jobs, so they move off to different places, and it's very difficult to persuade them to come back to the industry. So we're left with a skills gap.
What more, in your opinion, needs to be done to attract young talent and to retain them?
Well, that's a difficult question, and if I knew the answer to that, I probably wouldn't be standing here. But I do think the industry needs to learn how to organise itself a little bit better, to be a little bit more forward-looking and not so reactive.
That's obviously a fairly slow process, though, isn't it? It's not in the short term. Not
in the short term, no. It's going to take a number of years, yes.
Meanwhile, the demand for oil and gas is increasing, ever increasing. But the ability to produce safely in deeper water and more hostile locations, it kind of depends on the development of new technology, doesn't it? Is industry meeting that demand?
Well, it is, but it's a challenging demand, and it's not just about technology. It's about the people that can put this technology into use in a safe and reliable way. So technology on its own won't work. We need the people with experience, and we need young people with ambition to put this technology into work in very hostile places.
It's been acknowledged, has it not, the industry's been slightly conservative in adapting new technology up until now. Is that something you agree with and that it needs to change?
Yes, it's always been known as a very conservative industry, and I've been associated with the industry now for over 30 years, and yes, things have actually happened very, very slowly. But on the other hand, it's a very hostile environment, and we have to be very careful when we're introducing new technology. So it does take a long time, and it has to be done very carefully.
So what processes need to be in place then to ensure that in areas where it's difficult for production, hostile areas, that safety is maintained but progress is made?
Well, we need to have people trained who are experts in safety engineering and reliability engineering. That is very important. We need to have funding to do research. Usually that comes from the operators. Governments these days are not very keen on funding this industry. So we need money and we need people.
It's a difficult time to be asking for money, though, isn't it?
It's very difficult, yes. And that is the problem. And it's going to take a number of years for the industry, well, maybe not a number of years, maybe quicker, but it's going to take some time for the industry to rationalise itself.
When we look into the future, what are some of the important subsea prospects that you see on the horizon across the globe?
Well, there's a number, and we could start off far afield in the northwest of Australia, where we have very, very big gas fields, where we're looking at floating LNG. The other side of the world, offshore Brazil, they have resources in close to 4,000 meters, which are very difficult to produce. But even here, closer to home, we have prospects in the North Sea still, and west of Shetlands, and we've seen the Cullen field mentioned in the news recently. So there's much to come yet.
And the markets which you mentioned, I mean, when we talk about the downturn in the northeast and the North Sea oil and gas industry, people tend to forget that so many people in this part of the world, they transfer their skills to the places that you've just mentioned.
They do indeed, and I guess this is something we need to actually capitalise on. The UK's expertise in offshore engineering and subsea engineering, and yes, we have a very good name for exporting talent, if you like, and but we need to make sure we don't lose sight of that, and that's one of our, if you like, our products.
West Hill, just on the outskirts of Aberdeen, is known as the global centre of excellence for subsea technology. How important a role do they have in the future, do you think?
Well, I think they have a very important role, and it's actually good to get a number of companies together in an area where they can talk to each other and develop things off each other. So I think it's going to be very important, and even after the North Sea is finished, which is not going to be for a while, but West Hill will be around for a long time.
This week we've been looking to the future. Let's just look at this week. We're here at Offshore Europe 2015. What do you expect to get out of the exhibition? What are you looking forward to?
Well, personally, I'm looking for signs of new technology being developed. I'm also wanting to see young people coming around the exhibition who are interested in joining our industry, which is very important.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of that. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for talking to OETV. Thank you.